Space. The final frontier. Well, before Space 2, Space with a Vengeance. Now, FTL is a roguelike, but it's one that hides that reasonably well by not being too randomised initially and also not insisting on killing you dead within 30 seconds. Although if that does sound like a good time, I'd very much recommend Risk of Rain, another game that has an astounding soundtrack. My favourite track in Risk of Rain has an old school euphoric drop that makes you feel like you're at an illegal rave with Enya, but somehow that's still amazing. Anyway, FTL. So you've got randomised galaxies to explore, but with this constant purpose. You're being chased by the rebel forces, putting risk and reward at the heart of the game's narrative. And the more time you spend exploring the galaxy, the higher the risk that you'll end up being caught by the orange bastards that want you dead. But if you don't scour every sector you travel through for precious scrap metal and upgrades for your ship, then the flagship you have to face in the final sector is going to eat you for breakfast. In contrast to the often unknown depths of most roguelikes, the enticing thing about FTL is you can always see how far you are away from the end. And it's this that spirits you on, encouraging you to just have one more go, because this time is going to be the time that you'll probably crack it, even though you probably won't. It's basically a fantastic space captain simulator, although if you're anything like me, you'll be a shit space captain. Command to Ensign Smith. Command to Ensign Smith. Ensign Smith, come in. Oh. Yeah, sorry, I'd forgotten to switch the oxygen back on. But it's on now. Yeah, there's... Ensign Smith?
Target destroyed, Captain.
Excellent. Teleport the boarding crew back to our ship.
No, Captain, the enemy ship. That's the target we just destroyed. You told us to maintain laser fire on the shield generators.
Despite the simple and elegant systems, there's a lot here you can do. You can deal with fire or even intruders by emptying the oxygen from rooms on the ship, which is great, providing that the machines that make oxygen from your ship don't get damaged somehow while you do it.
Captain, how am I supposed to get to the oxygen generators when half the ship is devoid of air?
I know, right? But, give it a punt. So most of the time in FTL, you'll end up dead because the systems are broken, something on your ship has fallen apart and now everybody's going to die. And FTL is at its best when it allows you to cause the same horrible fates for your enemies. Deactivate their shields and then focus all EMP cannons on their oxygen generators.
Captain, it'll take about 10 minutes for their oxygen reserves to be completely depleted.
That's a good point, Ensign Quinns. Put the kettle on. You can slice their crew to death with giant praying mantis boarding parties, ravage their ship with fire, or just fill it full of holes and let the vacuum of space sort them out. And to coincide with the iPad version of the game, Commander's Edition adds tons of new stuff for absolutely no monies at all, including weird metal aliens that drain oxygen from rooms. And obviously you've got a wider variety of weapons and drones to play with, and brand new mechanics like mind control. Ensign Smith, is everything all right down there? You appear to be smashing the shit out of the engines.
Everything is fine.
Taking control of a stranger's brain and sending them on a murdering spree is always entertaining, but there's something depressing about the chain of events that always occurs when you mind control someone who's boarded your ship and then destroy the enemy craft that they came from.
So after he finished killing his colleague, he went straight to our engine room and started helping out with repairs.
Right. What's he doing now?
He's taking control of our shields. He's actually quite good at it.
Yeah, but it's going to wear off in about 30 seconds. Listen, just surround him, wait till it wears off, then have about 3 men beat him to death. Have we made any plans for dinner? My other obvious favourite from the expansion is cloning, which allows you to replace your medbay with a machine that can bring dead crew members back to life, minus a couple of important memories, effectively allowing you to send the same boarding crew to a horrible death over and over and over again. Ensign Smith, report to the transporter room immediately.
What's going on? Why am I in the cloning bay?
You'll understand in a minute. Just get to the transporter room as soon as possible.
Captain, I can't remember anything.
Yeah, that's probably for the best. Listen, we'll talk about this when you're back from the Mantis cruiser, okay?
So yeah, it is good, and yet even with all the new squeaky toys that the free expansion brings, it's a game that I feel still needs tweaking. I dislike the fact that the end boss kind of feels like most end bosses, allowing you to go all the way through the game building your own custom ship, but then providing you a challenge which is very, very difficult to face unless you've used one of a small handful of strategies. Thankfully though, modifications have already made FTL better, and the Endless mod is a simple fix. If like me you don't like the end boss, then just get rid of it, and keep going through space forever, while your dinner goes cold. But my favourite modification so far is easily the Captain's Edition. It's a vast array of subtle tweaks that, as far as I can tell, just make the game better. You've got inventive new types of weapons and upgrades, including the ability to make a ton of cash by trading resources between outposts. And you've also got new risk and reward mechanics that allow you to spend time doing stuff. You can talk to your crew, raise morale, or unlock new quests and bonuses. But the Rebel fleet are gonna catch up with you. The best thing about Captain's Edition by far though is the additional detail. Sectors have specific names and more character. And that means that a Mantis area of space might be a home world, or it might be the location of a full fleet with a name. And you've got stuff like plague sectors, which are a great place to shift the medicine you bought. But you might want to be careful about picking up new crew members. But the biggest improvement relates to something subtle, and it's one of FTL's least pleasing traits: the constant invisible dice rolls of doom. A lot of the scenarios you've faced in FTL, and you'd regularly face the same ones over and over, have inexplicably high stakes. And there's nothing wrong with that, but it always felt a bit more like trial and error than role-playing stuff, and it didn't do a very good job of signalling danger, or really giving you a sense that you were about to take a massive risk.
Captain, we've detected some weird, colourful horse things on the surface of this planet.
Do they look like the horstachios from Viva Pinata?
Yeah, I guess they do a bit.
Excellent. Get someone down there, transport some back.
Sorry, Captain. Our man was immediately trampled to his death.
Balls!
Now, the new scenarios in Captain's Edition are better for a number of reasons. Firstly, they often give you a second chance to pull out if it looks like things are going to get hairy, rather than just jumping you straight from no worries at all to immediate death. But the most important factor is that the high-risk gambles are always obvious, and in a way that makes sense in the context of the game and the universe. So for example, when you find a cryopod floating in space that contains a frozen Mantis soldier, the clue is written right there on the tin. If you choose to open it, that one's on you.
Are you sure about this?
Yes! Just get a crowbar or something, open it up. Come on, it'll be
Yes,
fine.
Captain. Opening the container now. Oh, God!
Let's be clear here, this change isn't about making the game less harsh, it's actually about making it feel more exciting. If you lose a member of your crew when you didn't even realise that you were taking a big risk, then it's just a bit irritating and distances you from the game. But if you kind of get the sense that what you're doing is going to be a bit of a gamble, then when you lose hard, that's just compelling space stuff. As a final note, the inclusion of morality makes my behaviour in the original game look categorically monstrous. Accepting slaves from a pirate ship as part of a bargain now counts as you taking part in slavery too, giving you a new alternative option to free the slave at a nearby habitable planet. If your crew aren't cool with acts of slavery, you might find yourself running out of friends fast.
Anyway, if you just get down to the cargo bay, you'll meet our brand new friend.
Captain, why is he in chains?
He likes that. It's kind of a fashion thing, isn't that right? Cargo entity XC74X. Listen, just get him to work repairing the engine core, yeah?
My favourite addition is the ability to accept surrender terms from an enemy ship and then blow them to smithereens for the scrap metal anyway. Intergalactic cashback. And if your living crew aren't fond of your ideas, then why not just replace them all with holograms and hope that the AI system controlling them doesn't turn sentient and kill you. Because yes, that's a thing that can happen. So in conclusion, FTL is a very good game, and with mods, it's an even better game, so you should go and play it now. Bye!
Captain, I think you've accidentally left the communication channel open?
No, this is for morale. It's rousing. When you're in love with a beautiful woman, it's hard.